Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Once again, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Are you all right?
Yes, sir.
Lovely. Please relax. Sit back in comfort. And I think I'll leave you in time for lunch. Okay? We have been talking about how to make presentations. Yesterday I told you about some topics that could form part of the second cycle of presentations by you. You can take one of them or any other, but I want you to talk about a civic problem. I have already told you, you will be allowed to have 3 slides at the most and maybe a map showing the location of your place. If you are talking about your hostel, show us the map of Chennai and then show us your hostel. If you are talking about your town or your village, show us the map of India or of your state in India and then show us where your place is located. Okay? And then 3 other slides. One slide must quantify the problem you are talking about. Another slide may be a photograph of the place, and third slide whatever else you want to do with it. But you don't really have to have all the 3 slides. You can have only 2, you can have 1, you can have none, but better have some slides. You will learn how to use presentation aid, because certain things do not go well verbally, they go well visually, and numbers, data, etc. are some of them. I will talk about them in a few minutes. I have also told you, you will be evaluated for slow tempo of speech. That will form a very important part of the evaluation of your presentation in the next cycle, which comes on the 1st of February. And because we are more than only a few and we will be taking 90 seconds each, it will have to be done on 2 days. But no student, no presenter is allowed more than 90 seconds. The first bell will go off at 75 seconds and the second bell will go off at 85 seconds. You must stop by 90. Do you have any questions? Are you sure you understand? If you have any confusion about topic, about what a civic problem is, please talk to me. I am also going to forward these PowerPoint slides I used yesterday to our friends Arun and Kiran, the class representatives, and I will request them to forward these slides to you. Is that all right? Okay, let's come to today. You got, suppose you have decided on the topic, you got the topic, but then what are you going to say? Okay? What are you going to say? That and how you are going to say what you are going to say. Now, how in this part of the course, by how I do not mean your dress, your smile, your wristwatch or your hair. I mean what comes first. Do you talk about the solution before the problem, or do you talk about problem before solution? We can talk about all of these things. But I want you to remember that for any presentation that you make, any presentation at any time, at your home, in your office, at your workplace, in a temple, in a church, in a mosque, no matter where you make your presentation, the contents of your presentation, the message is the heart of the presentation. That is the most important thing. I cannot overemphasize it. If you have something to say, people will listen to you, even if you speak rapidly, even if you come to the presentation in a dirty shirt, even if your hair is disheveled, it does not matter. None of the great prophets, think of Kabir, think of Gandhi. Gandhi did not go about in a business suit, and he was still heard. Was he heard because he was very handsome? What is your answer? Was he heard because he was a film star? He was heard because he had something to say. That is what all the great leaders have had. So, what you say is most important part of your presentation. That is the heart of your presentation. All else that I have told you about so far, smile, speak slowly, be confident, wear good dress, etc., etc., are not more than 20% of your presentation. If you have something to say and if you also have these things, then you become more effective. But imagine you have all these things, but nothing to say. Imagine you are turned out well in good business suit, your hair done, coming straight from the beauty parlor, but you have nothing to say. Will you be an effective speaker? Will you? Yes or no? Will you? Last benches? No, definitely not. Message or what you are trying to say, the content of your presentation is the heart of your presentation. Okay? Any leader that you remember, any, be they religious, be they academic, be they in entertainment or sports or in arts, no matter what field of activity, any leader that you remember because of what they had to say. Do you know what dress Newton wore? Did he have a necktie or he didn't? But we remember Newton for his what? Laws of motion. Okay? We remember Galileo for what he worked, not for what he wore. Many of us do not even know what language he spoke for his mother tongue. What language did he speak? Make a guess. It does not matter if you go wrong. Italian, yes, Italian. He was an Italian. Okay? Or maybe look up Google. I may be wrong. I do not know. But the point is, we remember anyone in the end, not for how they looked, not for how they dressed. These things are there. They are fine if they are there. But more importantly, or the most important thing is, did they have something to say and what they said. Do you recognize this gentleman? Who is he? Gautam Buddha, a prince. What was his name as a prince? Siddharth. Which part of the world did he come from? India? India? No. Is his birthplace today in India? Where is it? Nepal. Yes, Nepal. But he had a profound influence upon the entire world as known then. In the East, his message went to the farthest islands of Philippines, and in the West, it went up to the shores of Egypt. Places like Alexandria had Buddhist monks and monasteries. What did Buddha say? Can you tell me in one sentence, anybody? What did Buddha say which made him so popular? Make a guess. Once again, it does not matter really if you go wrong, but I want you to try.
Try to enlighten yourself.
Try to enlighten yourself. Yes. Anything else? Yes. God is inside you. Okay. He said a lot of interesting things, but most importantly he said God is inside you. Sorrow is a product of desires. If you desire too much, sorrow is inevitable. Control your desires. He did not say don't eat, but he said don't eat too much. He did not say don't have money, but he said don't have too much. Okay? Control your desires. Other than that, you have to do nothing. Okay? You will be a happy man if you did that one difficult thing. And his religion became so popular that even today the Arabic word for idol is named after Buddha. In Arabic, the word for idol is But, okay, which is a different form of saying the same thing. So, you know, we are in the end, your audience, your listeners listen to you in the end for what you have to say. It is very important that you must prepare well and you must come up with something. Who is this person? Martin Luther King. Is he living or dead? How many years ago? Make a rough guess once again. How many years ago? No, no, no. Did he die a natural death or was he killed? Did he die a natural death or was he assassinated? Assassinated. Okay. When? Which year? Make a guess. Who was the American president when he was at the top of his popularity? Which country did he come from? From the? Come on, please. He came from which country? Which country did he come from? United States of America, USA. Which country?
USA.
Which country?
USA.
USA or the United States of America. Okay, 1963 or 64. Check with the Google. He was assassinated. Okay, very powerful speaker. Was it because he was very handsome to look at? Do you remember any of his speeches? Any words? Any? I have a dream. Allow me to play it to you. Okay, just about, you know, it's rather a longish thing. He spoke for about 13 minutes, but I am playing only the last part of it.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream. My 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today. That one day every valley shall be exalted, every hill and mountain shall be made low, the rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight, and the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together.
Okay, you know, some of these things are remembered for what they have said. Some of these leaders are remembered for what they have said, not for their dress, not for their smile, not for their tempo. Though you may have noticed, did Martin Luther speak very rapidly? I have a dream today that one day my children will be judged by not by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Did he say that? What did he say? Somebody please. Okay, one of you please. The camera will take you. Can you stand up and try? Please try, you know, allow yourself to be made fools of. One person please, anyone, can you stand up? Come on, stand up. One person, please. I don't want to name you. I want you to gather courage. In the end, you also need guts to stand up in the crowd of equals and to make it. Come, somebody, please. Okay? Yeah.
I have a dream that one day my children will be judged by the. Sorry. I have a dream that one day my children will not be judged by the skin of their color, but by the content. Color of their skin, but by the content of their character.
Good. It happens, when you begin first until you gather. Somebody else would like to do it. Come on, please. Yes, stand up.
I have a dream that one day my children will be judged not by the color of their skin, but by the strength of their character.
But by the content of their character. Okay, go more slowly, Martin Luther King has spoken more slowly, with pauses, with very clear pauses. I have a dream, and then there is a pause. Okay? Once again, somebody please. Yes.
I have a dream that someday my children will be judged not by the color of their skins, but the content of their character.
Lovely. This is how I want you to speak, with pauses, with confidence, with a very clear voice. Okay? And if you have something to say, it will be remembered for the rest of your life. You can change nations. Today, a black American is the President of the United States of America, not only because he is a great leader, but also because people like Martin Luther King went before him. This is how you change the world. Who is this? What was his full name? When was he born?
1869. 1869.
How many people? Please raise your hands. I want to see. Which day? 2nd October 1869. When was he born? When was he born? Which year?
1869.
Yeah, say it clearly. 1869. Which year?
1869.
Which day? 2nd October. Which day?
2nd October.
What time of the day? What place? Look up. You must, if you must read about one Indian in the next 5 years, you must read about Gandhi. There has been no greater, no more intelligent, no more humorous, no more convincing, and no more sinless person than Gandhi. Have you heard Gandhi? I am going to play a little clipping, from him. Gandhi is speaking to students in Rome on radio. In British radio won't allow him, but Italian radio would. Okay? And watch it not only for the contents, but also for how. Did he speak rapidly? Did he speak without pauses? Okay? And I am going to ask some of you to repeat later. Please, for God's sake, don't be shy. Don't fear camera. Ignore them, Unless you speak now, you will never be able to speak. You will not gather confidence. Okay?
Waste today is despairing of multiplication of atom bombs, because a multiplication of atom bombs means utter destruction, not merely of the West, but it will be in the destruction of the world, as if the prophecy of the Bible is going to be fulfilled, and there is to be a perfect deluge.
What did he speak about?
Atom bombs.
For or against? What was his argument? It will destroy the world. Utter deluge. He said the prophecy of the Bible would be fulfilled. Was he rapid or slow?
Slow.
Okay. About steady, easy, not so difficult to understand. The point I am making again and again is a very simple something. It is for the contents of your presentation, it is for the message you give that you will be remembered. Okay? All other things only reinforce the message that you have. Your dress, your smile, your slow tempo, your pleasant manners, your confident voice, everything enforces or reinforces what you have to say, but you must have something to say. Once you select your topic, do not keep it until 30th and send some PPTs to Arun or Kiran and use them. Start work on them today, start work on your topic today, gather enough information, prepare 10 slides and then cut out. In the end have only 3, but you must have 3 not only because you can have only 3, have 3 out of 10 or out of 20, out of a lot, decide what is the minimum that you must say to make your point, okay? Which means preparation, which means research. That is why I have called this set of slides research and organization of presentation. How can you research your topic? How can you research your topic? Well, there is plenty of, you live in what many people call information age. What age?
Information age.
Yes. So, you have overload of information, you have plenty. Okay. Conventional places they are available is go to the library. Archives, you know what archives are? What is an archive? Yes, collection of old papers, manuscripts, etc. Or websites. You live in a city, Chennai has wonderful libraries, at least half a dozen libraries which are unique in their own ways in the world. Only 3 kilometers from here you have Theosophical Society Library, works of Annie Besant, works of Sarojini Naidu, etc. can be seen there. You have Connemara Library, one of the oldest in India. You have British Library, American Library, Madras University Library. There are lots of other these things, plus your own library, but libraries will not come to you, not yet. Okay? You will have to go to them and get all the information you want, photographs, information, other kinds of charts and whatever you like. There are monuments, if you are making presentations related to this, that can also be a source of information. You look at the statue of Alexander and you come to the conclusion how people those days lived. Okay? Many people use public information in a very unimaginative way. Can I tell you a story to relax? Sit with your back to the bench. I am going to tell you a story. Once I gave a similar problem to some of your seniors. Okay? I said write a term paper. This was a written course. So, I said write a term paper on a civic problem in my place. This was, I will not tell you which group, but this was your senior some years ago. Okay? And there I gave a deadline and I said your paper must be in 1500 words and must be turned in A4 size, this print, that print. I gave them all those specifications, and on due time all the 40 students gave me their paper. Okay? I picked up one and read it. It said, I live in Visakhapatnam. Visakhapatnam is the pearl of East Coast. It is also the headquarters of Eastern Naval Command. It has 49 parks. The level of suspended particulate matter in air there is so much, etc. They wrote all those things. I was mighty pleased, wonderful English, good information, good print, I gave A plus. Then I picked up the next paper. It said, I live in Nellore. Nellore is the pearl of East Coast. It is also the headquarters of Eastern Naval Command. It has 49 parks. The level of suspended particulate matter in air here is so much. I said, maybe, every person has a right to think that their city is the pearl or the diamond, and it may not be, Nellore may not be the headquarters of Eastern Naval Command, but I am not checking it for general knowledge or military history, otherwise it is okay. Then I took up another paper and it said, I live in Warangal. Warangal is the pearl of East Coast. It is also the headquarters of Eastern Naval Command. It has 49 parks. I thought maybe sometimes government have stupid schemes. Every city should have the equal number of parks. I am after all not a geography teacher. I should look at spelling, vocabulary and punctuation and gave some grade. Like this, I finally came to a paper which said, I live in Bulandshahr. You know where Bulandshahr is? It's in western Uttar Pradesh, between Agra and Roorkee. I live in Bulandshahr. Bulandshahr is the pearl of East Coast. It is also the headquarters of Eastern Naval Command. Okay? It has 49 parks, etc. My patience gave way. I scratched the entire class. I reported to the dean that all these students, boys and girls, must be failed and must be asked to redo the course. The point I am making is, you have information. You know what these students had done? One student had written in a particular hostel and all other students had only changed the cover page. Their name, roll number, hostel they had changed. Inside they thought that the teacher was anyway not going to read it, and so get away with murder. Unfortunately, they could not get away with murder. You also do the same thing. When you go to the Google public site, pollution in Nellore, you take up 1 or 2 topics and you come and tell me, sir, this is my PPT. Do not do that way. These things are your model. Okay? Go there, see how these things have done. Is there something useful? But do your own research. It will not only teach you good presentation, it will also bring out your hidden strength. As Vivekananda said, perfection is inside you. The job of education is to bring it out. Do your own stuff. Do not take entire India, unemployment in India. Go to Google, you find hundreds of pages. Talk about unemployment in my village. Talk about unemployment in your hostel. You have classes 6 hours. What do you do rest of the 18 hours? What do you do? Are you usefully occupied? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
All the 18 hours?
No, sir.
How many hours of those are unemployed hours? Make a research on them. Okay, talk about that 1 hour. Okay, 1 hour in 24 hours will give you 30 hours of unemployment in a month. If you work 30 hours meaningfully on any project, you guys can change the world. Certainly your hostel, this campus. Am I right? Say yes or no, please.
Yes, sir.
Right? So, do your own research, just as you would not use somebody else's mobile, just as you would not use, though some people will, some people do not have enough self respect, they will, but most of you will not. Similarly, do not use others' statistics, have your own and put a copyright on it, put an IPR on it, upload it on Google or on any website, your own blog, and say this is mine. Okay? So, you can go to lots of public places. Any questions? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Right? Lots of public places give you, are sources of data. All you have to do is to talk to them. If you want to, there is no city in India about which you cannot find some expert somewhere. There is an older person living here. You want to talk about some cities in Bihar, come and talk to me. You want to talk about some cities in Andhra, there are people. So, there are known and acknowledged experts on subjects, on places, on topics. All you have to do is to approach them, and I do not think there is going to be a situation when you approach somebody and that person tells you, no, I will not tell you. Okay. A good presentation, you may write if you like, a good presentation is a product of good preparation. If you do a half-hearted job, if you do a job where you have stolen somebody's data, where you have only copied somebody's data, it may be good, but it may not be as good as you would otherwise have done. Okay? So, please do your own research and find. There are lots of private sources you can use. If you are talking about some problem or some new thing, suppose you are talking about dowry. Did dowry exist 200 years ago? It did, but not in this manner. Dowry was voluntary. Dowry was what girls' parents gave to their daughters who would be leaving their houses forever. You know, nothing can be, please believe me, you are not parents yet. Nothing can be more painful than saying goodbye to your own daughter, one who you have raised for 20 years, 15 years, 25 years, and one fine morning or evening you are saying bye to her, you are telling her now you no longer belong to this family. You know, most parents would want to give everything they have to their daughters, but you spoil the fun when you dictate, give me a television, give me what are the kinds of things these days, give me a BlackBerry, okay, or give me a jackfruit, or give me a basket full of bananas. In Bihar, you know, very commonly I find people asking for bikes. I wonder why they ask for bikes, you know, why not for a rocket, go straight to the moon. Okay. So, when you, if you want an interesting presentation on dowry, go back into the history of your own family. For quite some time in India, it was boys who had to give dowry to the girls. I have gone into the history of dowry, you know, and I have found that boys used to give, even today in Iran, in many Muslim countries, boys have to give dowry. Islam enjoins upon them that boys have to give dowry to the girl. Many factors, you know. So, go into the history. Similarly, you know, in pollution, okay, how was sewage discharged earlier? Do you believe that a city like London or a city like Chennai always had sewage? What is your guess? Yes or no? Excuse me. Okay. Yeah. What is your guess? Did it always have sewage? When did it come? Go into some of these things. You will not only, you know, it is not, I am not asking you to write a book on history. I am asking you to see what a smart engineer did when confronted by a problem like this. There was a time until about 18th century when Edinburgh, have you heard of Edinburgh? Is the capital of Scotland. It is the third largest city in third or fourth largest city in the United Kingdom. Edinburgh was the dirtiest city in Europe. Why? Because in Edinburgh, just as in many villages in India even today, people answered the call of nature on the road. They did not have a sewage. Worse still, the rich people did it in their rooms in a big tub and emptied the tub from the top onto the road, and they did not do it, their servants did it, and the servants shouted at the top of their voice, cautioning others on the street, garde, in French, beware, garde, in French, beware, and then they poured, saying the l'eau is water. That is why another English word for toilet is loo. Okay? But then, unlike you and I, the British were smart. They thought of flushing, technology, they thought of sewage, they thought of water engineering, they thought of bringing water into their homes, they thought of taking dirty water outside. So, a good presentation is always a product of good preparation, good research. No matter what your topic, no matter what your topic. Okay? Somebody recently said Galileo is the most modern of physicists. Okay? Imagine the kind of courage he must have had to say in the face of the obvious that the sun was static and the earth went round. Okay? So, do not take others' information for granted. Search your own, have your own, and then examine what others have said. It is a matter of self respect. Would you use others' discarded footwear, others' discarded undergarments? Some people will, I know. God has designed them differently, but most of you, I am sure, will not. Similarly, do not take others' data until you have gathered your own. Are you with me? Yes, okay. I am trying to tell you only one thing, that research is important, and there are many sources. You can talk to your grandparents, you can talk to your elders, you can talk to people in village. Okay. Recently, I had to be involved in some kind of family function, and the priest wanted me to tell them the name of my father's grandmother. Okay. Clearly 150 years ago, she was not Jhansi ki Rani. Her name does not figure in the history books. How could I? So, I would talk to my elder aunts, cousins, sisters, and then somebody told me she was called Aparajita. It was such a joy to me, okay, that I happened to be the son of a lady called, or great grandson of a lady called Aparajita. So, there are family traditions in every family. All you have to do is to invoke them, make use of them, talk to the elder members, etc., etc. You also get information by observation. Okay? Can we stagger the dining hours? Then between 12 to 1, more than 10 minutes are spent waiting in the queue. Am I right? Say yes or no? Okay. What can you? How can we overcome them? Those 10 minutes could be precious. If you got your food as you went, you could eat, go to your room, have a little nap for 5 minutes. But if you want 5 minutes, you could easily have a nap, provided the queue becomes shorter, provided there is no queue. What solution can be found? Definitely some solution can be found. If human beings can fly 300 people together with 280 tons of cargo, then anything is possible. Engineering is all about challenging the impossible, right? All you need is intelligence and imagination. So, observation, collection, classification and analysis of information will give you much information, much more than you may need to use. At that stage, at the stage of preparation, I am talking, in this part, the first part of the course, public speaking and presentations, I have tried to tell you how you should speak. I am also trying to tell you how you would gather something to speak. Please believe me, the great political leaders have an army of researchers, teams, dozen people, half a dozen people, young, old, researching for them, reading for them and giving them information before they speak. Now, Indian Parliament has also enacted, and they are looking for all members of Parliament are allowed to have parliamentary assistants, people like you can work with them for 2 months, 3 months, 1 year. They pay you some money, I think 30,000-40,000 rupees per month, or there is some kind of package, some free travel, access to library. So, all there also you require for your political speeches also you require preparation. You must prepare, you must have something relevant to say to your listeners. Any questions? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Well, I am going to finish, it is almost time. Do you know this building? Do you know this building?
Yes, sir.
Hardly anyone goes there. Go there this evening for my sake. Don't read, just walk through and come out. Just walk through and come out. Believe me, and come and tell me, I will buy you a chocolate. I have enough money to buy 40 chocolates. Okay? Just walk through and come back and tell me what you feel. I have no more questions, I asked a lot of people in previous batches. Okay? Do you go to the library? No. Why not? We don't have time. Why not? Okay? I am not free. So, what do you do during your free hours? Have I told you what answers they gave? Yes or no? Lot of people told me, close to 80%. I was the coordinator of a survey of BTech's use of free time once. We asked 300 people, not BTechs only, BTechs, MTechs, PhD, 150 BTechs, 100 MTechs, 50 PhDs. We asked them, how do you spend your free time? So, they asked us, what is free time? I said, free time outside the classroom, outside the laboratory, outside your workshop, when you have a choice between doing nothing and doing something. They said, of course, yes, we have free time, vacation, weekends, every day between 4:45 and midnight. Okay. So, we asked them, what do you do? 80% of the boys said, we gossip. What did they say? What did they say? Gossip. What is gossip? Gossip is talking without subject. Okay. So, we asked them, okay, what do you gossip about? Okay, every day you live together, you eat together, what do you gossip about? They said, we gossip about, boys said, we gossip about films, cricket and girls. Then we also asked the girls, how do you spend your free time? Close to 80% of them, actually 81% of them said, most of their free time went into gossip. So, we also asked them, what do you gossip about? And they said they gossiped about films, cricket, clothes and other girls. I am not telling you don't gossip with your friends. After all, you will not live together again. Okay? But 80% of your time going into gossip, isn't it too much? This building, one alumni, somebody sitting like you, he has made this building for you. Go and find out who. Okay? In the hope that one day some of you will sit there and make good use of it. Okay? You can organize your presentation in the following manner. You can either go from small to large, like postal address, your name, your house number, your street, your city and town, or you can go from large to small. In Hindi films, the film begins with the marriage, wedding, and then there is problem. The villain kidnaps the heroine, okay? And then the entire movie is made finding the heroine in the flashback, etc. You can go either way, decide, but have an order. Give an overview of the presentation. Tell us before you begin what you are going to talk about. Okay. What problem you are going to talk about, how you have gathered information, you must tell us. Do not tell us only Visakhapatnam is the pearl of East Coast. Tell us why you think it is the pearl of East Coast. Okay. How you gathered data about pollution in the parks of Visakhapatnam. Okay. So, talk about method, then use presentation aid tools like maps, tables, charts, graphs, diagrams. You guys have another language which many young people in India do not have. You know English, Hindi, Tamil, Telugu, Latin, Greek. In addition, you also know the language of engineering, drawing. Am I right? Not yet? Everybody? Right. So, that is another language with you. You can say things which I cannot. You can say them in ways in which I cannot. Okay. Use that language and organize information accordingly. What can you use them for? Anything can be used for any purpose, but certain things go better. You can drink tea even in a plate, can't you? Pour your tea on the plate and great Indian style you can, but a cup is a better way for holding your tea, coffee. But if you have porridge or payasam, take it in a plate, not in a cup. Okay. So, there are different kinds of things for different reasons. Tables are good for numbers, graphs are very good for indicating trends, charts present relative positions, maps are wonderful to show locations, diagrams are good to show structure, flow charts are good to show organization, and nothing like a good photograph. One photograph is equal to 1,000 words. Okay. But find which photograph, find a relevant photograph to the place. You are talking about Nellore, do not show Taj Mahal of Agra. Okay. You are talking about Hyderabad, do not show only the photograph of Charminar. I know, show something new. Okay. Thank you, have a good day and a nice weekend.